All right. Well, peace. Hold on, y'all. Anyway, yeah, what's up? Peace. First and foremost, hopefully, the most on your house shall blessing your day. By His mercies, you aren't consumed. We're live in the most on your house shall body to and naturally live, man. I want to get to this, man, because honestly, man, this is a little review, honestly, of Superman, because I saw it last night, my homie. And there's a lot of things with this, man, with this movie, man. Of course, it's illusion, because a lot of times, too, even, shout out to Brother Chronicles of Judah, because, yeah, like, Superman is proverbial, like you said, proverbial like Adam. It's like kind of Adam, but also, too, like, even Christ, man, because even, we kind of talked about it yesterday, man, because him having a heavenly father and a earthly father type of thing, that's kind of like, even though Joseph, well, we could say earthly was the earthly father, even though he was born of not conceived of a natural of even though the quote unquote he was conceived by Mary, things of that nature, because we talked about that before, because for him to do that to save people save us save those save us from sin and death, man. He couldn't be born a natural. It couldn't be born from from a natural man's seed. So it had to be because him being the second Adam, he would have to be a birth like that from a word. But that's something else for another day. But the point being is that there's a lot of dynamics in this movie that kind of even with the character of Superman. But I kind of want to go into this stuff like that with the in the movie, man, because it is too, and shout out to the brother of Assembly of the Firstborn. Shout out to Brother Chronicles of Judah, because he said this years ago, even before I came into Word, even even after I came to Word, man, because he said all really a hater is really, for the most part, for majority of the time, not all of it, is an inverted fan, man. Because it is too, that dichotomy, because we mentioned this before. I think we talked about this before. I believe, honestly, that that dynamic between the Pharisees and Yahushua, man, because I honestly believe, man, I think the Pharisees liked Yahushua, man, but they were just inverted fans. They wish they had aspects and qualities that Yahushua had, man, honestly, because it has the same dynamic with Superman and Lex Luthor, man, because don't get it twisted, Superman and Lex Luthor loves Superman, he does, but you got people like the Ice Cube song, like the nigga you love to hate. It's the fact that you have certain people, they don't like the fact that they actually like you, they wish that they had qualities that you had, man. But this too, even in the movie, I ain't gonna give it the whole thing away, but even in the movie, Lex Luthor admits his envy for Superman, but he says that's his purpose. And I was just thinking, while watching with my homie, I was like, yo, don't you know there's people out there that's really like that, they really think that the whole purpose their whole spirit and purpose of envy is really justified, because I can't put it in the words how he said it, man, but let's get this in Proverbs 27, man. But I really believe that, honestly, that that dichotomy with the because when you read the scriptures, when you read the word, you can see in between the lines, man, because because they said Yahushua didn't teach as the Pharisees taught. He spoke as one that had authority, man. When the Pharisees saw this day to day, they were like that wisdom of Solomon too. They were in awe, and we're gonna get that in Acts too, and we're gonna grab that in Acts a little bit, but we're gonna touch on different things in this as well, man. As well, but let's get this Proverbs chapter 27:4. It says, "Wrath is cruel, anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy?" So yeah, and Sirach 30 says, "Envy short in life." But yeah, man, because Lex Luthor, envy, you do anything to somebody, man. Because he had Lex Luthor, and even the character of Lex Luthor, and it's a Lex Luthor and and Superman, it was a Saul and David type of thing. You're like, yo, this dude is so pressed, man. But that's just is what it is, man. It's that's when that goes into that envy, though, man. Because when you read First Samuel, Second Samuel, and parts of Chronicles, pretty much, but for the book of Samuel and Second Samuel, man, you be like, man, why is this Saul, even my first time he ran, I was like, yo, man, Saul's is pressed. What's up with this dude, man? Even though Saul had a lot of other stuff going on with him, because his envy and hatred for David, hatred for his brother, that evil eye, that was one of the things that Saul had. He had a lot of other stuff going on, but that's just is what it is, though, man. But that's the one thing, like, he had really, Lex Luthor has a Saul type of spirit. That, like, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is really like, this dude's pressed. But also too, Lex, don't get twisted though, man. He's in awe of Superman. He's in awe of that, man. Because why I'm mentioning this and stuff like that, because this happens every day, man. Because you got certain people like, because me personally, I don't think I ever even had, if I did, I didn't know, but I don't think I even had haters in my life. I just never did. Like, me personally, man, I think Kevin Hart said it best, man. Like, even if I had haters, stuff like that, that's the wrong focus. I don't even want to know. Like, why would I want to know? I'm not trying to win over that people that I know that are like, that are like, opposed to me. Like, why am I trying to do it? It makes no sense. So I rather focus on, it don't matter how the people that actually love me and care about me and how I can better their lives as well. Like, rather than somebody, my haters, man. Because, you got certain people like that, like you always say. Like, you got people like Floyd Mayweather, Kobe Bryant, or even Jordan to a degree, or they feed off of, I mentioned Floyd and Kobe Bryant because those are two people I just think on the top of my head. They actually play on that actually drives them. The fact that you hate them, they want you to hate them. That's like they play on that. That makes them better. But that's not, everybody's not like that. Certain people like then you got certain people that want that validation. Certain people they want to be like from afar. Because I don't know, man. Like a LeBron, he's kind of that type. Like then you have certain people that had that effect factor that's very likable. Like Magic Johnson per se. Like they got the charisma and the skill set. Like and then you got certain people that have like they got the skill set. They got the they had the skill set and the talent, but their personalities they just don't have the charisma like a Steph Curry. Like shout out to brother sent me first one because they mentioned it in the class yesterday. But anyway, man. So yeah, man, that's just what it is. That's the dichotomy that that Lex Luthor had with Superman, man. But let's get right to this axe too, because it did happen to Howard Shine as well. Because people that hated him, they were still in awe of him. But even those that even those that those his followers after him, even to this day, man. Even when that time comes, it's gonna have that. Even on natural time, man. You have people that despise people, but there's all of them at the same time. It's very crazy, man. Because I even mentioned this as well. Let's get this axe when Stephen died. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly. Because this is this is Acts chapter 6 when Stephen died, man. But it says, and he set up a false witness, which said, this man seeketh to not speak blasphemous words against this holy place and the law. It says, for we have heard him say, this Yahushua of Nazareth shall destroy this place, because like what he said in John 2, and change the custom which Moses had delivered us. So see, notice how that goes into the law and the testimony, man, the witness, man. Like they even to this day we still have that, man. Like and there's nothing wrong with the law, man. But the gospel, the witness, the testimony, new covenant, man. That's to save you. That's really the faith. That's really the righteousness of the Most High Yahushua, man. Like to believe on the Most High Yahushua, the Scripture said, and to overcome sin and death, man. The faith, really, because when you're really preaching, what's wrong, Spirit? You're alright, Spirit. You're okay, girl. Because when you're preaching the witness, the testimony, the gospel, you're preaching the Most High Yahushua. That's just what it is. But notice how we still have the same thing that's going to the Moses. But that's neither here nor there. But let's get to verse 15, man, because it says, and because this is Stephen's death, it says, and all that sat in the council looking steadfastly on him saw his face as it had been the face of an angel. Get down, girl. So notice how even when they killed him, they were still in awe of him. They was like, wow, man, because it's like when Yahushua died and and the Roman soldier said, surely this was the son of the Most High, this was the son of God, man, because it's that Lex Luthor Superman dynamic, man. Because even though because it's as much as Lex Luthor has envy, hatred, spitefulness towards Superman, jealousy, or really rather envy, he's still in awe of him at the same time. He wish he had those qualities, man. So that's just is what it is. Because he, even in the movie, he mentions that. He said, how can this, like, because that's how the Pharisees was, man. That's how the Pharisees stepped to Yahweh Shai. Like, because they said, wait, what manner of man is this? Who is this? Like, where did he come from, man? Because it's like, because even in the movie, like, Lex Luthor mentions all these great, like, philosophers and leaders that came. He said, okay, but how is this man from another planet come here and win over the people? How do the people love him and follow him so much? That's the same thing that the Pharisees said to Yahushua, because then Yahushua didn't necessarily come from another planet. He came down from the heavens, like, was the most high, like, embodied in the flesh, and the people couldn't understand it, they was in awe of, they hated him, but they was in awe of him at the same time, man. But that is what it is, though, man. But let's go at this Acts chapter 6 and verse 15. It says, all that sat in the council looking steadfastly on him, saw his face as it was been the face of an angel. So see, yes, it is what it is, man. But also too, man, in this movie when watching it, man, I was talking about this with my homie, because I tend to be like this a lot, man. Not that, like, the brother, I remember the brother Joel, or Yahweh all says from Sons of Thunder, man, because a lot of times too, like, not that I'm so pious, so great a lot of times too, but me, I can be like, I don't really come like, because my homie's like that. He tries to warn me and stuff like that. He's like, yo, man, watch this, watch that, man, because this person don't got the good intentions, man. You don't see through that. Sometimes, like, it's not that you're gullible per se, but because I can be like that. You could say, I could say I could be like that, but it's like, it comes from an aspect of that's not my intention, but they gotta realize that's not everybody else's intentions to have a beguile or deceitful, or like have ulterior motives or agendas. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn and say I'm so pious and great, but like my homie even says that, but he's like that, like because he's like that, man. He's like, listen, man, no, man, you gotta but that's why Sirach 6, what we're about to get, it goes into prove people. Go ahead, you have to prove people, man, because what, in this movie, man, I seen why I came to the conclusion why, like, Superman needs Batman, because in the movie, man, Superman's character, like, he's too trusting of people. He tells people too much everything, man. He tells everybody everything, man, and that's why scriptures say open not your heart to every man, because on the surface, see people like mine look at it, it's like, okay, why are we reviewing and talking about, like, a comic movie or Superman, or like, things, something that's this, but this is really a case study in the backdrop for everyday life, man. Like, that's why, as they say, art imitates life, honestly, man. Like, and like we always say, watching and listening to things with spiritual eyes and ears, man. Because, like, your house, I said, more is a spirit. Because, like, now watching this, I see why Batman, like, Superman actually needs Batman a lot of times, too. Because you would think, like, because Superman is just, like, godlike being, things of that nature. But, you still need, but what's that? Batman's a human, so he understands, like, he, and also, too, how much of a, and also too, Batman's more introverted, more introspective, very tactical. He's a detective, so he's going to, like, he proves people. He does, like, spiritually, like the word says, try the spirit by the spirit. He does that, like, a lot of times too. So because that's the thing too. That's why, like, even says like that. Even in the movie they say brain over brawn. That's why it says, like, he that can, that's why the words goes into how, like, a wise man is better than the mighty man, honestly. And don't get twisted though. Superman is intelligent though, like, the character. But that you need that, man. Let's grab that real quick, man. Then we're gonna get Sirach chapter 6. There's other aspect of this too as well, because of course, like, his of course you go into Revelation 2 and Psalms 2, like in the well, I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but but those that know, like, that know Superman's actual father, Kal-El or Zor-El, I think his name is Zor-El. They want Superman to be a god to these people, ruler to the people, and Yahushua is coming to do that, like, and also too, he said that he said, ye are gods, but also too, that's what Yahushua is coming to do, rule with an iron fist, pretty much. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 16, it says, then I said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. So yeah, man. And that's going to your house on another level. But yes, his wisdom is better than strength. Kind of what we just mentioned, man. But let's get this Sirach 6. We probably gonna close out, man. But this is the Superman review. Well, I'm gonna do another one. I don't know. Depends on it, but it really doesn't. You know. Um. Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter you know, um, uh, 6 and verse um 7. It says, "If thou givest a friend, prove him first. Be not credit the be not hasty to credit him." Exactly, man. And that's the thing too. That's why I came to the conclusion. I said that to my homie. Like, I was watching it. I was like, yo, but he's not as big into comic book movies and stuff like that as I am. He's not really into that stuff. Like, comic books, anime, different, like, that type of stuff. He's not really not into that. Like, as I am. But that's just more going into that's why I came to the conclusion that why Superman needs a Batman, man, because you always too need people, in the world, out the world, you need people like that. Be like, wait, yo, watch that nigga, man, because certain times, even to this day, man, I need like that, man, like on the DMX song for my dogs, and he said, man, I'll be your eyes and ears, man, like, I'll watch your back, man, because you need people like that, man, when you bring certain people around, because they see certain things that you don't see, like, even with your significant other, like, or it's man or woman, man, like, you need somebody, even just a person, you need somebody always like that, that's going to check you on things, or just tell you, because that's where that open rebuke is better than secret love, where it really has your best interest at heart, man, because they're going to see things, like, or bring them around your loved ones, whether in the world, out the world, because they're going to see things that you don't see, man, honestly, like, or sometimes you see but you ignore it, because, like, because that's where sometimes you gotta let that go, like, because sometimes you see certain things, but, like, that's why a lot of times, like the brother Assembly first one said, like, a lot of times too, the natural, but the average person going around is not really that good at the art of deception, man. Most of the time we get God because it's our own lust or our own desires or our own idealism of what we want our people, what we want see people as, man, rather than what they are, man. Because honestly, like Maya Angelou said, like, it could be good or for the bad. Like, when people show you who they are, believe them, man. Focus on the behavior, man, rather than that, man. So, because, and that's is what it is too, man. Because the natural person, like, isn't quantico trained, or isn't the art of deception, isn't like Kevin Spacey's character, the cripple from Usual Suspect. The average person like that. We just get God because we because what we want to see, man, is because based off the potential, or this person could change. No, just go off of their behavior, what they do, man. So, and sometimes easier said than done. It's because, like, damn, you really might like this person, but hey, if they bad for you, then you gotta let them go. But that's why you need people like that, like a Batman type around. Like, it's not as like that just really true. That's really gonna prove people are gonna see things you don't see, man. Like, that's why that Batman Superman dynamic is so good, man. Because Batman's the total opposite. Like, he's not as trusting of people. Like, he really vets people, and, like, that's part of the character as well. But he really vets people. He really goes into that, man. Like, he does, like, what the word says, like, proves a friend first, proves somebody first, but also too, like, trial spirit, bot spirit. When Superman's kind of the opposite, man. That's why it says this in Ecclesiastes as well. Open not your heart to every man, because there was a scene in the movie where Lois Lane says, "Oh my God, she tells everybody everything." But Ecclesiastes chapter what's that? Open your heart not to every man. Okay, that is all right when it says open not thy heart to every man. But also too, I want to get to this as well, man. Let's grab this as well, because that's one thing I was about to forget as well. We're not gonna find that. We're not gonna. Well, we can find it, but we're not gonna go into that. We're gonna go to this as well. What's that? Where's that? Ecclesiastes, also known as all right. What's got that? 2. Because, this is an aspect of Superman as well that hold on, y'all. Here it is, cause yeah, that's how you know what's called. Well, Yahushua is the son, man, but this kind of goes into how the aspect of that Adam, or even Yahushua, Superman, even is supposed to be representative of because that's what these other nations in the world looks at us as a Superman, man. They think that, well, because that sometimes the fact that we're not even human sometimes, because like, you know, because I remember even like Shelter Brothers sent me Firstborn, man, because you know what, that whole Lex Luthor and Superman dynamic kind of reminds me of like how Skip Bayless looked at like, you know, throughout his career at LeBron James. Like, you know, he looked at him as a Superman. It's like, okay, like, you know, even though he's great, phenomenal, like, you know, athletic, like, you know, a physical specimen that, you know, in the elks of a Will Chamberlain or a Shaquille O'Neal, like, you know, like this common type of player, but that's still a man at the end of the day, man. Because that's why a lot of times too, when like, you know, they think sometimes as Jake, sometimes we're like superhuman. Say if sometimes we get shot or like, you know, by the police or and we don't survive, because that's what sometimes the like, you know, they look as Jake as, like, you know, our or as a so-called black man as, like, you know, a toy or a Superman type of thing, like, you know, because that's kind of that dynamic as well. I want to mention too, because yeah, but that's just what it is too, because that's where Superman comes in the aspect of it's what you call you know, you know, like for our people as well. It's kind of represent our brothers as well, because really, where does Superman gets his energy, stuff like that, his powers really from the sun too as well. Like he gets it, like, you know, and let's grab this too in Sirach real quick, man, because you know, that's how you know it's an allusion to Adam and Christ, man. Because even though, because let's grab this too as well, because then how shall I say, the Most High, how shall I makes the sun shine on just and the unjust, the faithful and the unfaithful, and the sun's not only just the natural sun, but his knowledge, wisdom, understanding, man. Like, you know, it says. What Ecclesiastes also knows, Sirach chapter 17 verse 31. What is brighter than the sun? Yet the light thereof faileth, and flesh and blood will imagine evil. So yeah, that's why Ephesians says that. Don't let the sun go down upon your wrath. Meaning knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's where Superman gets his power from, or how he heals from the sun, man. And that's how the word is supposed to, like, you know, his knowledge, wisdom, understanding. The word of the Most High House is supposed to, like, you know, heal us. And we even know with Joshua 10, well, because the book of Joshua is out right now. I don't know why my Bible's on Joshua 5 right now, but you know, that's crazy, all because we know in Joshua 10 what Joshua did with the sun, man. So you know how it is with how he got, like, you know, how the Most High House gave him power to you know, to keep the sun up, man. So that's just is what it is right there, man. But so yeah, hopefully this is edifying, man. This is my Superman review, man. I just want to look at the spiritual aspect of things. Hopefully, tell me y'all brothers and sisters that seen that what spiritual, what the aspects of the word did y'all see in there too, man? Because I like doing these movie reviews. Cause shout out to one Chronicles of Judah, cause he did it, like, you know, before I came to where he does it. But even the elder brother Zabak out of HOI, he does like these movie review types, and other people as well, like does movie review types with, like, you know, and kind of look at it in the spiritual aspect, man. So hopefully it's edifying, man. So peace.